What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sacred Cards. Today I'm coming at you with an update to my Dinosaur deck profile for April 2024 post Banlist. Yes, we got a Banlist yesterday, and I'm sure you all saw the aftermath and thought Dinos took a hit since we lost Link Rebo and Secure Garden with that. Dinosaurs will never go extinct. I made a few edits to the main deck just to increase my options and consistency, along with a few adjustments to the extra deck. I really hope you all enjoy this build, and I'm really curious to hear any feedback on what I could do different or what changes you have made to your list since the ban list. This is a pure 40 card build, no scrap, no true king, no BS, just dinos doing what they do best. With all that said, I'll go through my deck list and try and explain the cards as best I can. Let's get right into it here. Kicking things off with 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. You already know, still the deck's #1 starter. If this card is normal or special summon, you can take a dino from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can also target a level 4 or lower dino on the field, destroy it, then special summon a dino from grave in defense position. Next, of course, we have our 1 copy of Miscellaneousaurus. Misk is incredible. I wish it was at 2 or 3, but nonetheless, it has the effect that during the main phase, quick effect, send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Make your dino monsters unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent. Banish any number of dino monsters from your graveyard and special summon a dino from your deck with a level equal to the number you banished. Next, I'm choosing to play 1 copy of Kaitoptera and 1 copy of Giant Rex. With Kaitoptera, during your main phase, you can add a copy of Polymerization from your deck to hand, which gives you easy access to either Gigantozauer or Hornsaurus. I'll get into those more in the extra deck. If this card is banished, you can special summon it, then return Polymerization from your graveyard back to your hand, while also having the ability that it can't be targeted for attacks if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters that aren't wind. Giant Rex is still an amazing card, and there's no need to not play it. It's an earth monster, and when banished, it can instantly special summon itself back. In a perfect world, you banish both of these to special summon Ultimate Conductor, then really watch your plays go off. Getting into the Baby Dino package, starting with 2 copies of Animadorn Archosaur. This is another starter. If this card is normal or special summon, you can destroy a dino in your hand or on the field, then add an evolution pill spell from your deck to hand. I've been on 1 copy before, I've been on 3 copies before, but it's too good. I think 2 is correct, no more, no less. We then play 3 copies of Baby Ceratosaurus. Looking at this card, I realize I really want to get the new Speed Duel Secret Rares. They look absolutely amazing. But with Baby Ceratosaurus, if this card is destroyed by card effect, special summoning a level 4 or lower dino from the deck. Absolutely mandatory. One of the most important cards in the build, especially since its effect is not once per turn. And then next is 2 copies of Petite Pteranodon. Petrie has the ability that if this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or higher dino from your deck. Can't attack this turn. You could arguably play a 3rd copy of this, but I didn't want to brick on too many babies in the hand, so I think these ratios are perfect. Now for the big dinos, 2 copies of the best main deck boss monster in the game, in my opinion, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This monster must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 dinos in your graveyard. During either player's main phase, quick effect, destroy a monster in your hand or field. Change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. This card attacks all monsters your opponent controls once each. At the start of the damage step, if it attacks a monster in defense position, inflict 1000 damage, then send that monster to the graveyard. And for this list, I've gone back to an old favorite in 1 copy of Overtex Coatlis. This card is really good and serves a few purposes in this list. I wanted another double evolution pill target. And this one has the effect that if your opponent activates a spell or trap card, quick effect, destroy a dino in hand or on the field, negate the activation and destroy it. Plus, if it is sent to the graveyard by any means, you can search your copies of Double Evolution Pill from the deck. And then next, I'm playing one copy of Dino Wrestler Pankratops. I think one copy is fine for a going first variant, but I would definitely side a second copy, or if you really want, you could bump this card up to 2. With Pank, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from the hand, and it has a quick effect that you contribute itself to target a card on the field and destroy it. Now for the ground Xeno package, I'm choosing to play 2 copies of Xeno Meteorus. I've wanted to bump this card up to 2 for a while now and finally made the right adjustments to make it work. This level 6 tuner monster has the effect that if a card is destroyed by battle or card effects, special summon this card from the hand. During the main phase, you can destroy a dino in your hand or field, special summon a dino normal monster from the hand or deck. Next, I'm choosing to play not 1, but 2 normal monsters for this list in 1 copy of Frostosaurus and 1 copy of Sabersaurus. The main reason is I wanted to expand my options for the Ground Xeno Transcendosaurus package. I really like having options of level 6 and level 4 utility, plus they have really good synergy with Lost World. I don't think it hurts either way, no matter what you decide to do. I know most people just play the 1 Xeno, 1 Frost, because the deck is so tight as it is, but I've been enjoying this throughout testing and don't have any regrets so far. Next, for my non-dinos, I'm playing just 1 hand trap in 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Just a great all-around hand trap that can disrupt a lot of decks, stopping your searches or draw cards by your opponent. I think the monster lineup is perfect, but I'm not sure if I should cut things down for more hand traps, as without Linkuriboh and Secure Garna, it might be a bit harder to see non-dino targets for Double Evolution Pill. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments. That's it for the monsters. Now moving on to the spells. For consistency and draw power, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity. This is an Unreal card and helps with the deck's consistency. I like being able to dig 6 cards deep into the deck to find any missing piece I might need. The extra deck is definitely important to us, but there are certainly prosperity targets should we need. And for your main searcher, of course, 3 copies of Fossil Dig. Sorry, this card lets you add any level 6 or lower dino monster from your deck to your hand. It's another copy of pretty much any dino card we play, whether it be Misk, Oviraptor, Kaitoptera, or any other combo piece you might want access to. And then next up is 3 copies of Ground Xeno. I absolutely love this card and would not play less than 3 copies, especially because we can't search it, but you definitely want to see it. This lets you add 1 Dino Tuner or Dino Normal monster from your deck to your hand, then destroy a card in your hand. It also has the ability to banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon a Dinosaur from the extra deck. I'm playing 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill. With Double Evolution Pill, you can banish 1 dino and 1 non-dino monster from your hand and or graveyard, special summon a level 7 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck regardless of its summoning conditions. 2 copies is perfect in my opinion, no more, no less. And the last dino card I play in the main deck is the Field Spell. 1 copy of Lost World, and I'm also playing 1 copy of A Cold to Zone. I love Lost World and think that being able to search it with your copy of Hornsaurus is great, because now I feel you only need one copy and it really helps you combo and get your plays going. Plus it protects your monsters from being targeted while they have the token. Cold to Zone is a card that I think has great synergy with the deck and more utility than, say, Secret Village. Basically, the turn player summons a monster and gets destroyed. Then they get a mask token with the attack and defense equal to the destroyed monster. Really good for our destruction effects and will likely hurt our opponent much more than it hurts us. And the last two spell cards I'm playing in the main deck is one copy of Polymerization and one copy of Called by the Grave. Poly is now searchable and revivable with our copies of Kaitop Terra. It makes going into your fusion plays that much easier and getting you access to Hornsaurus or Zalor. It's a fourth way to fusion, as you also have your copies of Ground Xeno. Called by the Grave is just an all-around great card to have access to. Ensuring that our plays go off is very important for this deck. And then finally, the last card is a new one I've been testing. One copy of Super Soaring. It's kind of like a Monster Reborn, but one that's more suited for the Dino strategy. You can target a dinosaur that is banished or in either graveyard, special summon it. Really like this card and finally made space for it. More testing needs to be done, but I definitely love the effect. Well, that's it for the main deck. Now moving on to the extra deck. The extra deck is very much the same as you'd expect, but of course I had to make a few adjustments with the absence of Linkuriboh and Secure Gardena. Starting off with the fusion monsters, we have one copy of Hornsaurus and one copy of Transcendosaurus Gigantozauer. Hornsaurus has the ability that if it is fusion summoned, you can place a field spell from your deck or graveyard to your field. The other effect is that you gain an extra normal summon, plus the turn it is special summoned, you can attack your life point or your opponent directly for 2,000 life points. When Zalor is special summoned, you can target a dino in the graveyard, add it back to your hand. Then if this card was special summoned from the graveyard, destroy 2 cards, one from your hand or field and 1 card your opponent controls. If this card is destroyed, shuffle back a normal monster in the graveyard into the deck, then special summon this card. Now, starting with my Xyz monsters, I play a few rank 6s in one copy of Evolzar Lars and one copy of Evolzar Solda. Lars has the ability that while it has material, your opponent can't target it with card effects. When your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, detach a material, target a card on the field, and negate its effects for the turn. Solda also can't be destroyed by card effects while it has material, and has the ability when your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, detach a material, and destroy them. And then next I play 2 rank 4s, being one copy of Evolzar Logia and one copy of Evolzar Dolka. Logia, when a monster would be normal or special summoned or spell trap card is activated, quick effect, detach 2 materials to negate it. Dolka, when another monster's effect is activated, quick effect, detach a material to negate and destroy that monster. This effect is also not once per turn, which is really nice. And next, I play 2 Synchro monsters in one copy of Transcendosaurus Glaciosaurus and one copy of Sword Soul's Supreme Sovereign Changing. Glaciosaurus is my replacement for Baron at the moment, and still an amazing card nonetheless. With 3,600 attack, it can't be destroyed by battle. It protects any dinosaur that was summoned from the graveyard from being destroyed by card effects, nor can they be targeted. Plus, if this card is destroyed, shuffle back a normal monster in your graveyard into the deck to special summon this card. Changing gains 100 attack and defense for each banished card, while your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack for each banished card. If this card would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish a card instead. And if a card is banished, you can banish 1 card from their field and graveyard. Next is the Link monsters. I play 1 copy of IP Masquerena and 1 copy of SP Little Knight. IP is a really good card to set up with during the opponent's main phase. Quick effect, you can link summon using this card, and whatever you summon can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. SP is an absolute meta staple right now. It's so easy to make, an extremely powerful card to have access to. I know it's expensive, so if you don't have access to it, play anything else you like. It really doesn't matter too much. And next, I do play one copy of the Dark Charmer. It's easy to make in this deck, so it makes sense to play. This card does facilitate the secret Village of the Spellcasters option, which is why I would keep a copy in the side, or if you really want to main it for this build, go for it. Either way, it's a good card to have access to. Next, for more link options, I do play one copy of Cross Sheep and one copy of Pentastag. Cross Sheep is easy enough to make since we play a lot of variety in our extra deck. We have options depending on what we summon to its link arrows. If it's a fusion, we can special summon a level 4 from grave. If it's a synchro, we can have all monsters we control gain 700 attack. If it's an XEs, we can have all monsters our opponent controls lose 700 attack. Pentastag has the ability that if your link monster attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict piercing battle damage. Really good to get this pointed to your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to inflict some big damage to your opponent's defense position monsters. And then finally, the last two cards in the extra deck are one copy of Nightmare Unicorn and one copy of Appaloosa, the Bow Goddess. Both these cards are really good targets for your copy of IP Masquerena. Unicorn can discard a card, shuffle back a problematic card on your opponent's field. Appaloosa is another great card to have access to as it gains 800 attack for each material used for its link summon. Once per chain, have it lose 800 attack to negate monster effects on your opponent's field. Well, that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, please leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did, and subscribe for more content. Thank you for your support. I'm SacredCards. See you all in the next one.